I got that drive in me, for the life of me. Staying truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. I got that drive in me, for the life of me. Stand truly thankful for the fans I see. Talking to people of all types, making the chat hype. The more united we are, the higher we all fly. Unleashed, breaking through the screen, living in chaos, creating a dream. This is where rage and humor collide. So hold on, starts igniting. My brain starts igniting when Shane starts writing. God placed us in this fighting to speak and enlighten. We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera lights dim, the chat starts to grin. The stream is live and buffering, the show is about to begin. So sit down and buckle it in. This is Unleashed, breaking through the screen. Pop culture chaos, living the dream, living the dream. Every Monday and Thursday, pop culture unleashed, living the...
You know what the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you! This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning. We'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done. Believe me when I say
we can break this army here. It has made us brothers.
I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time.
You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must
Fight to fulfill that promise. Let us
cut out their living guts
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time.
Seize the day.
Never surrender. Victory or death.
So come on then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right!
Let's fly!
My name is the Lord. When I
tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
our Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina. Energy to do our thing, get your camera out. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go!
Yeah! What's happening, Shane? Welcome, everybody. I'm still alive. You know, I woke up this morning feeling like absolute booty, but I'm hanging in there, dude. I'm hanging in there. How are you doing today?
You look like you're about to pull somebody over. I'm not lying. Like you look like you're ready to do a Tyreek Hill on somebody.
Excuse me, sir. Can I see your license and registration? This is the Booty Patrol.
The Booty Patrol.
The Booty Patrol.
Yeah, no, doing good. Yeah, it's good. We're glad to be back. I know it's been a couple weeks, and we apologize for that. But as most of you guys that are close to us are aware, we were in the throes of trying to get out a huge video on our other channel, and we succeeded. So we'll talk more about that in the member section for you guys who are members. So very cool.
Yes, and if you would like to become a member, hit the little membership, the little join button, bottom, like it's right there.
Is that where it's at?
Yeah, we're gonna be putting a lot more stuff on this channel. Just so you guys know, a lot more clips, a lot more smaller behind the scenes stuff, and just fun little stuff is gonna be coming up on here. Things that won't wreck the main channel, but I'm sure you'll get a kick out of. Hey, listen, we got some stuff to talk about today. I learned this morning when I was researching for the show that we're going to be getting a Goonies 2 directed by Steven Spielberg.
What? That's interesting.
Pretty wild. Also, apparently the Russians are training dolphins and various mammalian animals to do spy stuff, which is
allegedly.
Allegedly.
We don't want to get sued by the Russian government here.
I don't think we can be. We're not even allowed to do business with them. Apparently,
they just kill us.
That YouTube company Tenet is being like removed wholesale from every single possible. Like they're getting the Alex Jones treatment, and it's very odd to me that like apparently you're not allowed to do business with the Russian government.
All right. I mean, we are in a proxy war with them. I mean, it makes sense that we would.
But that's like admitting like we're in a war with them, because like we're in a proxy war, but like they're like, oh no, we're not at war with Russia. Well, then why can't people do business with them?
Well, no, we're in a proxy war, which means we're supporting a country that's at war with another country. So we're like, it's like when your buddy on the playground is like getting into a fight with another dude, and you're like, I will so jump in right now. If you guys jump in, we're jumping in. If you guys jump, I'm jumping in. If you guys just better back off, let them fight.
No, it's more like if your buddy is in a fight with another guy, and you're like, you keep pulling him to the corner and supplying him with guns and tanks.
Oh no, that was the debate. That was the presidential debate.
Right?
No, you're the friend that throws. You're the friend that throws your friend like a hammer. Or
our chair.
Or
you go.
Or a chair. Go ahead, hit him with it. You know.
So, yeah. Wait, he's on the ground. Hit him again. Also, we're talking about Kurtzman's Starfleet Academy. Normally, I wouldn't care to talk about this, and I'm just scanning the news, looking at like Star Trek news as I usually do, and I clicked on Trek Movie just to see what was up, and the very first line that where he explains why it's set in the Discovery future made my blood start to boil.
I'm like, so mad that you sent it to me. It's like so
my heart rate started to go.
Why are we talking about this? Okay, fine. You want to talk about this? Okay, we'll talk about it.
Like we got to talk about it.
Talk about it. All right. You asked for it.
Also, Shane would like to talk about the Miami-Dade thing. What do you want to introduce that? 'Cause I don't know anything about it.
You don't know anything about it? Like the number one player in the NFL gets pulled over on the way to his football game, 1 block from the stadium, by police who are protecting the stadium for the game for those players, and they throw him to the ground and basically
they beat him up,
overuse their force. Yes, essentially. There's body cam footage.
I shouldn't be laughing, but it's sort of funny.
It is. And then his teammates like stop to try to help, and then they get thrown in cuffs too. So it's like you can't write this stuff. It's great.
You can laugh when they're like 15 tack brackets away from you. Okay, it's okay. It's not. Right. It's not racist to laugh at people that are that wealthy.
We're in California, and we're white, so we're okay.
Yeah, we're fine.
Although I got a great story.
Although my wife's car is all messed up right now, so we're driving our sisters, your and my sisters, like messed up, like little. And it's not messed up, but how do I explain it? It's like a little tiny red, like Ford Fiesta or Flex or something like that. It's like a tiny little car.
Yeah.
And the second we drove it, I was like, well, I mean, at least we have something to drive that's not going to stop. Because her car was literally stopping like on the freeway. It would just turn off.
It's like Josh Brolin in Goonies. Like he typically would either drive a car or some like cool like BMX bike.
Exactly.
But he's stuck on the little trike trying to get, because he has to.
Driving this car is like Josh Brolin on a little trike.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I'm in this little car. And I swear to God, I feel like a clown's. But to be fair, it's so tiny. It's like driving a go-kart everywhere. It's sort of freeing. I'm used to driving like this big giant SUV, and now I'm like just flipping in and out of traffic. Although if I ever get hit by someone, I'm just going to die immediately. So anyways, let's let's jump into it, man. Thank you all for being here today. I appreciate it. I might be a little loopy, but I'm sure that'll make for a better show. And thank you for continually supporting us in our little channel.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
definitely wouldn't be here without you guys. And the reason why we show up most times are like, oh, there are people who I think would like us to do a show. We should probably do that.
Right.
So here we are.
All right. Okay, so there is a Goonies sequel happening with the original cast. This is from the New York Post. Very interesting stuff.
I'm so glad you sent me this link because the first link was from
Inside the Magic.
Inside the Magic.
Right.
Oh, come on. Why are we doing this?
I had to confirm it with your. The second I saw Inside the Magic, I'm like, so we're not getting a sequel.
So we're not getting a sequel, right?
Right.
That was like the first. It's like, oh, so you mean we're not? So what you were saying is I thought that's what your story was going to be. We're not getting a Goonies sequel.
Yeah, that's what I assumed too. Like the second I saw that, it came from Inside the Magic or the Direct or Human Giant or whatever it's called. Robot Giant. What's it called? Giant Robot.
Giant robot. Giant freaking robot.
Giant freaking robot. I was like, yeah, this is not real. But apparently there's some actual truth to it. And it looks like we're going to be getting it in 2026, according to this. And Steven Spielberg, who was the original writer, not the director. The director was Richard Donner, right?
Steven was part of the production team, but he didn't actually write the script.
No, he didn't.
Steven Donner, Richard Donner actually directed it. Of course, Richard Donner from the first two Superman movies. Great director. But yeah, so it's going to be interesting because Steven is definitely going to be directing, which answers the first question you want to know about this movie. So it's supposed to have the original cast members, right? And Steven Spielberg directing. Now, what does that tell us? Some people will say, well, was it going to be woke? Are they going to destroy it? Are they going to do some, weird stuff to it? Well, the one thing we can say is most Steven Spielberg productions, especially when he's directing, it isn't that way. Right. He's old school. He's not going to start DEIing his storyline and his actors. So the one thing we can probably count on is that Goonies is probably going to be at least, a legitimate movie in that sense. Not saying it's going to be good for certain, because one of the reasons why they haven't done Goonies all these years is because they were never able to figure out a story that was as good as the first one to do one.
Right.
So according to Steven Spielberg.
Right. Cause so Goonies is a weird thing too. Cause it's a bunch of youth that go on this adventure. Right. Now, if you don't make a sequel like immediately, then you lose your window. Or you got to wait like 30 years and do it when they're adults.
Which is still a pretty new thing. Even
right.
That's really a new thing now. Like we didn't need to do all of these adult sequels until they ran out of ideas to do new movies. So now we have to go back and, grab these. Now, why would you bother? Now, I'll tell you the reason why I don't think we did a Goonies sequel. It's not like all these child actors, for a while they were popular, Sean Astin and Corey Feldman. They were popular for a time, but then their popularity plummeted. Who's become super popular recently? Who is
Brolin.
now Brolin, right?
Right.
And also Ke-Huy Quan.
Yeah.
The Asian kid who is in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, he's gotten a massive resurgence in popularity.
Sean Astin's coming into the spotlight for some weird stuff. So I don't know. Maybe now is the time. Maybe they feel like they can get that star power. Plus, somebody's come up with a script that I guess they feel like is good enough to do. But yeah, they've been trying to do a second Goonies movie for years.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. We like you said, we've seen movies coming up recently, like Top Gun Maverick and other announced returns to the yesterday of movies. When it comes to a Goonies sequel, do you think they're going to do an afterlife kind of thing where this is a handoff to a younger generation so they can keep the franchise going? Or will this be some kind of like finale?
No, I don't think so. I think you're going to find this it depends. If it's super successful and it makes a ton of money, then I would not be shocked at all if they're going to make another one, keep making them. I mean, most of these guys aren't working right? So a lot of the original actors aren't really working. So if they made enough money, I could see him wanting to make another one. But I think this is, in the spirit of, there's very little time left to capitalize on this movie. They're kids now; they're older men. I mean, what are they, about your age?
Yeah,
right?
a little at least. Yeah.
So in their late 40s, right?
Yeah, I can't believe.
So I mean
that Josh Brolin and I are around the same age. That's when you realize that you're old, and when you look in the mirror, you just think you're still young.
Well, no, you were. Well, so you were born in 80.
Yeah, I was born in 80.
So this movie came out in 85. So you were actually younger than these kids. So they're in their 50s, bro.
Oh, I feel good about that.
These guys are in their 50s, and Brolin, he's probably close to 60.
So you're their age.
Yes, I am these guys' age. So think about me. Yeah, I only got so much time left.
We need to make a Shane movie right away.
Make a Shane movie. Do it soon. So yeah, I mean, if the window's closing, Steven Spielberg's getting old. The desire to do this with this now, if they don't do it with Steven Spielberg, if something falls through and they don't do it with the original cast, all the DEI woke, ideology is off the table.
Oh, the message is gonna seep into it. I think another reason why it's probably a good idea financially or business wise to make a Goonies reboot, in addition to why they're doing the stuff with Ghostbusters, is the popularity of Stranger Things. Like, Stranger Things is a bunch of kids going on an adventure, and it has that 80s vibe to it.
Yeah, I feel like Stranger Things has kind of sailed. It's kind of, that ship has sailed. I don't feel like there's much hype following that around anymore. But I could be wrong. I will say that Top Gun Maverick helps this. Beetlejuice helps this. Bring Ghostbusters helps this. They're all of a sudden seeing that, well, these movies make money, and if they do it right and they don't do it too expensively, then Goonies 2 could be fantastic. But they're going to have a good story, man. How are they going to get a good story for these adults? That's going to have to be different, I would think, than finding One-Eyed Willie's gold, right? And it's probably somehow incorporate their kids, because it's going to have to still be a family movie, right?
Yeah, according to this article, it says the insider said the youth adventure market is on fire. The producers want the sequel to have a plot that will be well received by both longtime fans and new viewers.
Well, that is the secret, right? Everybody wants long-term fans and young viewers.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that? It means you're going to have a young cast that's going to share screen time with the original cast, which can be sketchy. Like, I think Ghostbusters Afterlife probably did a pretty good job with it, but they had a really good young cast. But we haven't seen much of these young Goonies, so we're going to need to see a lot more of them as adults than, say, the Ghostbusters, who got a Ghostbusters 1, who got a Ghostbusters 2, before there was a Ghostbusters Afterlife. So.
I love this quote from the article. Chris Columbus, who wrote the screenplay for the film, recalled after Donner's death that the late director called him to talk about a sequel to the Goonies. And this is what he said. He called me and said, "You know what we should do? We're going to get on my boat, smoke pot for 3 days, and come up with an idea for Goonies 2.
I love that. I love his response. Well, I don't smoke pot, but we can have a couple drinks. Yeah, definitely. But he also said that he wished he'd taken him up on it. He never did. And of course, Donner's passed away now. And it's really a sad thing, because I think it would have been better had Richard Donner made a Goonies 2. No problem with Steven Spielberg. And Steven Spielberg's great, but I would say the magic that is Steven Spielberg when he's making movies isn't necessarily as much of a sure thing as it used to be.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, so if you're interested in Goonies 2 with Mikey, Mouth, Data, Chunk, and the whole crew, then stay tuned, because one of my favorite movies of all time is Goonies. I used to watch it on my birthday every year for about 25 years. And now that I have kids, I've switched that because they weren't very interested. So now I watch something else. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think I am.
And as we get more information, we'll keep you guys updated. And so make sure you subscribe. Stick around here.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what's happening with Goonies. All right, let's talk about this. Before we go to entertainment, I want to talk about the the Russian bottlenose dolphins.
Nice.
And then we're gonna talk about Star Trek. So this is I just found this really hilarious. First off, rest in peace to the bottlenose dolphin they found, or the bottlenose whale.
It's a beluga whale.
Beluga whale they found. I guess he ended up actually getting murdered by a fisherman.
Damn.
But this is the article. Marine experts in Norway believe they have stumbled upon a white whale that was trained by the Russian Navy as part of a program to use underwater mammals as a special ops force.
Don't laugh. It's been going on for decades.
This is what they said. We were going to get our nets out when we saw a whale swimming between the boats. It came over to us, and as it approached, we saw that it had some kind of harness on it. The strange behavior of the whale, which was actively seeking out the vessels, trying to pull straps and rope from the side of the boats, as well as the fact that it was wearing a tight harness, which seemed to be for a camera or a weapon, raised suspicions among marine experts. If this whale comes from Russia, and there's a great reason to believe it, then it is not Russian scientists, but rather the Navy that has done this.
Well, 100% the whale came from Russia. At least the harness did. So the harness is from St. Petersburg, Russia. It says it on the harness. So they got the harness off the whale. It says it. And then I guess some of these researchers decided to call their Russian counterpart researchers and said, hey, are you guys doing any like marine animal, stuff? And they're like, oh, no. But the Russian Navy might be. And it just so happens that Putin has like resurrected 3 bases right on the Arctic Sea. And it's very possible that they're using these animals in some sort of nefarious way.
Yeah, and in the 1980s, Soviet Russia had a program where they recruited dolphins for military training. So it's totally possible. What's interesting is an update to this story, and it's a short update. The beluga whale stuck around for a while, and it was friendly to the area, and like local people would feed it, and it became sort of like their beluga whale for a while. And when they didn't see it for a couple weeks, they were worried about it. They figured it had gone off to find some friends. Then they found it on the shoreline, and it was killed. And they're saying it was probably killed by a fisherman. I gotta tell you, I think it was taken out by a Russian ops team because they didn't want their secrets to be found. So they did the whale in, dude.
I feel like there's some guessing going on there.
Yeah, it probably is. Hey, we got a super chat from Chappie for $5. Hey, Chappie, good to see you again, my friend. He said, "What's up, nerds? I love the Goonies. Not sure if I want a sequel. Would love to be proven wrong, though. As would I, sir." Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. It's not something I wanted, but do I want to see these guys run? Wouldn't you love to see me not frozen?
Yeah, I'm not sure why you're frozen. It's very odd
here.
You're hyper frozen. That's why.
Okay, hopefully I'm back, but
we can hear your voice, but
it doesn't seem to be going well for me.
Yeah, let me turn the quality down. Maybe that helps. Maybe your quality is too high.
I sound weird.
I think someone at your house is downloading.
It's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah. We're going to let his
That's entirely possible.
We're going to let his internet stabilize. It's stabilizing. I see your face. It's getting clearer. Max, headroom. Here we go. Much better. All right, that's good enough. Can you hear me okay?
Have to go with it. Right.
Someone in your house.
I can't, but I don't see myself talking.
Oh, you don't see yourself?
I mean, I see frozen totally.
Yeah. I'm just going to wait for it to stabilize a little bit. How you guys doing? Well, his internet is stabilizing.
You just keep going until I come back.
Say hi to everyone. You guys are doing great. How many of you guys watched our 2-hour plus doc that nearly killed me? I want to know that. It is something to behold. If you haven't seen it, I suggest going to watch it. It's doing actually really well. It has a lot of views. And in the members section, we're going to talk about a little what's next, because we got another doc coming out in what, like a little over a month, right, Shane?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yeah, we got another doc coming out in a little over a month, right?
Less than time than hopefully 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 weeks. All right, your internet is just a disaster. Maybe close all your windows or something. I don't know. All right.
I did.
Everything. All right, let's talk about Starfleet Academy, the TV show no one asked for. In my recent time, when we're making the doc, I was researching this, trying to find clips and stuff for Starfleet Academy, trying to find more information for it. And I did come across a casting video that they did where they cast all the young kids. And I'm going to tell you right now, like, if you think that it made me, if it gave me any kind of excitement or if it made me feel better about it, you're totally wrong. The casting video is an absolute joke, and I'll show it to you right now. It's so bad because, like, the people they're casting, it just makes no sense to me. Why? Like, these aren't even like young people. These are just like, it's people just ripe with the message. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe they're great actors. Maybe they're not. But that's not what I'm getting here. So this is the video. Oh, let me turn this.
Actually.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Hi, Carice. It's good to see you guys' faces again.
Hi, Ella. Hi.
How are you, man?
I won't lie. My heart is in my throat.
This is the casting, just to be clear. This is they're casting like the actual youth that are going to be in Starfleet Academy.
Well, we're not going to do any scenes today, Carice, because we called to tell you that you got the part.
Are you serious?
We wanted to chat with you to welcome you to Starfleet Academy.
Congratulations. You got the role.
Wow. We don't really have questions for you. We just wanted to welcome you to Starfleet Academy.
What does that mean?
All right, we'll pause it there. And then I saw this article. So this article is from TrekMovie.com, and it's actually an interview with Alex Kurtzman. And it says Alex Kurtzman explains why Starfleet Academy is set in the Discovery era. So I had to check this out because, like, we were asking that question. I'm not sure if you recall, but we were asking that question for a long time. Why are they setting Starfleet Academy in the Discovery era when no one likes Discovery? And I think Shane's back, so let me get him on. Yeah, there he is. Okay, welcome back, Shane. There he is. Yeah, so Shane,
it's because they hate us.
I was asking the question. I'm going to ask you the question again, so I got it on clip, Craig. But why would they set Starfleet Academy in the Discovery era when the Discovery era is the least successful era so far of Star Trek?
They've given up on anybody over the age of 35 or 40. You know, they've just essentially written everybody off that's older. He says something, Alex says something, Kurtzman says something that really bothered me in this article. Of course, a lot of it bothered me. I mean, you already have Star Trek Prodigy, which is for kids. Right. And now we're finding out that Starfleet Academy is also going to be for kids. So, because as he goes through here talking about that, while he's dealing with his child, his son, who's a teenager, he's realizing what sort of difficulties that he's experiencing and that we've left this world as a mess. And now they're going to have to fix all the problems that we've left behind for them. Right. This is what he says. So he wanted to write something and have Starfleet Academy basically mirror this battle that these children are going to have to overcome for our world as they get older, which means he's writing it for teenagers. So Starfleet Academy will be for teenagers.
Yeah.
But there's something he says here real quick, Brian, that bothers the crap out of me. And he says, essentially here is what he's saying is that the real question for Star Trek is, how do you keep innovating? How do you deliver both what people expect and something totally fresh at the same time. Because I think that it is actually what people actually want from Star Trek. They want what's familiar delivered in a way that doesn't feel familiar. Now, Alex, 100% not true, buddy. We don't want something that seems familiar delivered totally in a new way.
Right.
We were very happy with it just the way it was. It does not need to be delivered in a completely different way. You've chosen to deliver it in a completely different way because you didn't understand what it was that made Star Trek good. Now you've basically made bad Star Trek, and now you've written off all of the older audience and you're embracing the younger audience, and that's fine. Maybe Star Trek becomes something completely different in the future, but what I can tell you what it definitely is not what it used to be. That's for sure.
Yeah, this first part actually drove me nuts when he was like, as the father of a 17-year-old boy, I see what my son is feeling as he looks at this world and his future. I see him recognizing he's inheriting an enormous mess to clean up. Like, the mess you left, dude? Well, yeah, it's the same mess we've all had.
The same mess that we had when we were 17. The same mess that he had when he was 17. The same mess that every generation feels. So the reason he's putting it in the future, if we didn't answer the question for you, is because he feels like Starfleet in the 32nd century after the burn, it has to put back together that part of the galaxy or that part of the quadrant as a result of the destruction of the burn. And that relates to what's happening here on Earth now, apparently. So
yeah, first off, the burn was the worst idea they've ever come up with in the history of Star Trek.
Agreed.
The worst possible thing. I've never understood that storyline. It makes no sense logically. It makes no sense scientifically. It doesn't make any sense on any level. Focusing on that as like the catalyst as to why this show exists is, I'm sorry, it's just retarded. Because that entire storyline makes no sense. It would have been made more sense if you said it was Michael Burnham's fever dream or a Kelpian fever dream. It makes no sense. Basing an entire story on that is just a recipe for disaster. And, you know, and the cast they have, which I was showing you when you were logging back on, the cast, they look incredibly young. They look incredibly awkward. This show is going to be so hyper zoomer messaged out. I can't even begin. It's going to be something that we should probably dedicate a segment to just making fun of.
Well, and here's what's weird, Brian. You know, Holly Hunter has been cast to play the captain and chancellor of Starfleet Academy. She is the star. As it's put it, she is the lead of the show. She's 66 years old. Like, I'm just explain to me how that's going to work. Now, Holly Hunter, she's had her time. She's done things throughout the past. I'm not saying she's a bad actress or anything like that. But this is going to be a teenage drama. This is Beverly Hills 90210 Star Trek.
Right.
Okay. It's supposed to be funny. I'm hearing he said it's going to be funny. Another problem I have with Star Trek. I don't think Star Trek is funny. You can have some humor in a Star Trek, but it should not be a comedy. So I'm, you know, I don't know where they're going.
It's not going to be funny,
with this.
haha. It's going to be funny. Look at me. I'm 13 genders and you're confused because you're old. It's going to be something like that.
So the pun will be on Holly Hunter, I guess, not being able to, you know, seeing the oddity of the new.
And
kids.
I'm sure Robert Picardo would just, and really, he's going to just love explaining to her how things are and being the white knight.
Oh, because he's from the past.
Right.
Because he's a doc. Yeah. So well, I'll tell you, Robert Picardo is the one who came from a reasonable time of Star Trek. So the doctor came from a reasonable time of Star Trek. He should be just as incensed as we are.
Right. He should be, but
he wants to keep working though. So
yeah, Robert Picardo's got to keep his job. So yeah, this is where we're going. This
he will be in Starfleet Academy.
Yes, he's going to be in Starfleet Academy as a doctor. The reason we didn't get Star Trek Legacy, that was
don't say it.
I'm gonna say it. The reason we didn't get Star Trek Legacy that was promised to us at the end of Picard season 3, the best season of Star Trek since Voyager. The reason we're not getting that storyline that everyone wants, whether you like new Trek or old Trek, every fan wants that.
Everyone.
It's so crazy. Like you created something that everyone likes. And you know how hard it is to do in this day and age? You finally created something that everyone likes. Every new fan, every old fan, we all like it. And you know what they did? Yeah, that's cool. We're gonna go ahead and do something else.
Well, and it just shows how narcissistic the guy is, because he's been wanting to do Starfleet Academy from the moment he took over. To him, that's exciting. Like the stuff that he's done in the past, like this lines up for him. He's directing the first 2 episodes.
Of course he is.
This tells you how much he wants to do this. I mean, he got the movie shut down. The Star Trek IV was supposed to be surrounded by Starfleet Academy. He got it shut down because he says that's what my show is going to be about. So he's been going down this road. It doesn't matter how reasonable, how much you want something else that might be better, Star Trek, whoever. It doesn't matter. This is what Alex Kurtzman wants to do, and he's in charge, and he's already gotten paid. So who gives a shit?
Yeah, I can't.
They need to pay these people on how well they perform.
Yeah, it needs
Stop
to be
giving
merit-based.
people money just to give people money. Make them perform.
Here's your $30 million 10-year contract. Like, stop. Hey, no. What are you doing?
I mean, let me ask you a question. Who would argue with this? Listen, we're putting you in charge. If you do a good job, you'll make this much money. If you don't do a good job, you don't make this much money. You'll make some money, but you're not going to be wealthy. If you want to be wealthy, go out there and kick ass. I mean, I don't understand what's wrong with having a pay chart that looks like that.
Yeah. What's wrong with anything being merit-based?
Incentive-based, right?
Right.
Merit-based.
Yeah, you do good, you get paid more.
That's it.
It's not that hard. All right. All right. Moving on from Starfleet Academy.
Does it say when they can expect the Starfleet Academy? Let's see.
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. I didn't look it up.
Starfleet Academy is going to be in Paramount Plus 2026. So they got a long ways to go still.
Yeah. Plenty of time to cross the T's and dot the I's. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of reshoots and all that. Yeah.
The article also does say it's going to be a Earth-based San Francisco-based show and a space-based show. My guess is like 25% space, 75% Earth.
Oh, yeah, because space costs more, right?
Right.
All right. Yeah, stupid, really bad idea. I'm sure we'll have to talk about it more in the future. All right, let's talk about this. Tyreek Hill and the Miami-Dade police. So, Shane, you want to set this up before we watch the video?
Yeah, I was kind of talking about it earlier. So, Tyreek Hill is the #1 player in the NFL voted by the NFL players. He was on his way to the season opening game for the Miami Dolphins. And 1 block from the stadium, the police who were like managing, traffic and people and kind of protecting the players as they go up, they end up pulling him over, a motorcycle cop, because they see him speeding. And what ensues is an escalated situation where Tyreek Hill ends up in cuffs, face on the ground, kind of choked.
I don't know why.
Other players stop and they get put in handcuffs, all because he was speeding. It's a very interesting.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but it seems so funny to me because he's driving like a $400,000 car. You know, I don't know, maybe I have like this weird like sick fascination with watching rich people just get demolished.
So it makes you feel good
because I'm so poor. You know. All right,
let's watch a little bit of the footage and let's see if we can show it.
Yeah. All right. Here's the Tyreek's car. Nice car. Here we go. Sir, can I please get your license and registration? Do you know who I am?
No, they didn't know who he was for quite some time. Actually,
Right,
which actually makes it really funny.
He does seem sort of belligerent, huh?
Yeah, we'll talk about what he does here. Let's just watch it.
Keep the window down.
And he rolled the window up.
Yeah, we'll talk through the whole thing. Let's watch it.
Hey,
He looks for public around like I don't. Let's
keep the window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car.
As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
You know what? Get out of the car, okay?
Get out of the car.
Just get out of the car.
Right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Ooh, we got those go wings.
Get out.
It's McLaren.
What part of that don't you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
I'm getting out,
You
bro.
understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you.
I'm getting
You're a little
out.
fucking confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
Chill,
Too
bro.
late.
All right, bro. Take
Too
me to
late.
jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
It is good.
Hey, Drew. Hey.
Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. Can you stop
Hang up the phone. He was on the phone the whole time.
He's on the phone with his agent, saying they're arresting me. His agent's the most famous agent. The Jerry Maguire. Remember that movie?
Oh, is that guy?
There's that guy. Yeah, Drew Rosenhaus.
Who's coming with me?
Right. Right. So essentially, this, he gets choked here in a second because they're telling him to sit down, get down, and he's like, I just had surgery on my knee, and then this guy comes in and like fucking chokeholds him, and just takes him to the ground, right? And it's interesting because they don't realize who he is, here he is. It's like,
just take it down.
Now you get two players that come in over here on one side and the other, two of the leaders of the team who are like trying to stop and help, and they're like start screaming at him, dude, like back up, get back.
These cops are not football fans, obviously.
Let me tell you something. They don't realize. So then this cop's writing the ticket, right? The really asshole cop here is writing the ticket, and somebody walks over and he goes, "Hey, you know who you're arresting over there, don't you?" And he's like, "No, who?" And of course they're Cubans. These cops are Cubans. And he's like, "No, who?" And he goes, "Oh, that's the number one player for the Miami Dolphins." And all of a sudden he mutes his camera. He mutes his camera, and you get just the whole idea. He's like, "Oh shit," right? So what happened was Tyreek Hill was doing 60 in a 45. Now they didn't clock him. It was just like them watching the car go by. So they saw a McLaren driving a little over the speed limit. Probably saw some black dude driving it and decided they were going to stop him. They stopped him. Tyreek Hill, who's $100 million dude, is irritated. He's on his way to the game, and he gives him his license and registration and says, "Do what you got to do." And he was not nice about it. He was rude about it.
Oh, yeah. The guy, so he was rude when he got pulled over. And he was rude when he rolled up window. And when he was asked to roll the window down 3 times, he kept ignoring him. And then when
he rolled it down, he gave it to him, then he rolled it back up. And they both have really good reasons why the window should be down and why the window should be up. There are really good reasons. The problem is nobody talked to each other. So if the police officer said you need to put your window down because I can't tell if you have a weapon, and if you don't put your window down, I'm going to have to bring you out of the car and put you in handcuffs because I don't know what you're doing in there. To which Tyreek Hill could say, "I don't want the window down because I'm a star athlete. I got all the fans are walking by. People in jerseys are walking by taking pictures of what's happening, and he doesn't want his face all over everything because he's getting a ticket." So I get it, right? Both sides, I get it. It could have been de-escalated. The problem is like if you're a cop, right? And a lot of people will say, "Well, it's a cop. You just need to obey and do whatever, blah, 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 blah." Okay, you should obey a cop and do the things that they tell you. There is no law saying you have to have your window down, but if they tell you to put your window down, you should. Okay.
Right.
That said,
especially when you have blacked out windows, like his windows, you can't see through.
Well, there's no law in Florida for the blacked out.
I understand that.
There is here
in California. You have those windows, like it's not going to work out. Like
but
if you have blacked out windows like that, you got to keep your window down.
This is an obvious case of motherfucker. I'm in charge, and I'm going to show you who is boss right now. And that is our number one problem with cops.
And all he had to do, Shane, was not be a dick.
You're right. But listen, you shouldn't. I don't care who you are. You don't deserve to be jacked up because you're not nice.
I agree with that. But like, be a reasonable human being and just get
he complied. He gave them what he wanted.
And then he rolled the window up. He was told to roll the window down 3 times, and he just ignored him. No, don't. And
he says, "I'm not going to roll the window down." He goes,
I couldn't even understand what he was saying.
He said, "Roll down the window." Or he said, "Roll down the window, or I'm going to take you out." He didn't even give him a chance to comply. He just said, "Never mind, you're coming out."
No. There's a solid minute and a half that goes by.
He says, "Roll down the window," or I'm taking you out of the car. And then he said, never mind, I'm taking you out of the car.
Yeah. Look.
And then the other guy came in and ripped the door open. So if he would have just said, listen, I'm gonna arrest you if you don't roll down the window.
Look, it's right here, bro. It's right here. Look at this. He even looks around like, why did this guy roll his window up? So he rolls the window up.
No, I see. He rolled it up, but he hadn't been told at that point.
And he's like, hey, man, you got to roll the window down. Roll the window down.
But he didn't tell him he was going to arrest him if he didn't roll the window down.
Look, he looks up like, what's going on? I don't understand.
Right. So when he finally tells him, I'm going to pull you out of the car if you don't roll the window down, he says he doesn't even give him a chance to comply. He just pulls him out of the car. So my point here is, and listen, I've been pulled over. I'm an old white guy, right? I don't have the same problem.
I'm sorry, I wasn't showing anyone when I was in.
I don't have the same problem that a lot of other people have. But there are so many, and there's a lot of really great cops out there. My grandfather is the chief of police, was the chief of police. So trust me, I'm not anti-cop. But I'll tell you this right now, there's a lot of asshole cops out there. We know a couple.
Absolutely.
And let me tell you something.
We know a couple.
I got pulled over, right, by a cop who was on the freeway doing the thing where they go back and forth and slow everybody down. You know how they do that out here? To kind of moderate traffic.
I hate that so much.
Okay, so I decided that I was just going to get off the freeway. I'm not dealing with this stuff. So I went to exit in the exit lane, and the cop came way over and got right in front of me and like slowed down. And so I threw up my hands. I'm like, what's going on? Why is this happening? He moved back to the left. I exited.
All right. I think we're losing Shane.
The highway.
Oh, there you go.
When I ran to my window and screamed at me, dude. He was screaming at me. My kid in the car. It was so angry because I threw my hands up in the air. You're disrespecting me. This is here. You're disrespecting me. I'm a cop. I don't want to be disrespected while I'm getting pulled over for a speeding ticket. Listen, if you're a cop, you're going to have to toughen up a little bit.
Yeah,
granted, there's a lot of people out there. You're going to have to.
I think we're seeing it a little different.
You can't just pull people out of the car.
I think we're seeing a little different.
I've watched it.
I agree with you. I think that cops are assholes. But like, okay, in our situation, say you and I get pulled over in this beautiful McLaren. First off, I'm not rolling my window up. The second the guy says keep the window down, like that moment he says that, the window comes back down.
Right. Now, I agree.
You shouldn't have to knock on the window a second time, ask him again, look around. The guy's, he's ignoring him.
Tyreek is definitely wrong, but nothing here means you should get your ass pulled out of the car and put in handcuffs. Well, but nothing here. He didn't break a law here.
You're right, but he doesn't know if he has a gun in that car. He can't even see.
No, there's good reasons. There's good reasons, but there's no good reason for him to pull him out without giving him some sort of warning of what's about to happen to him.
That's true.
If you don't roll your window down, I'm going to arrest you. Okay. What he said was, I'm going to pull you out of the car if you don't roll your window down. You know what? You're coming out of the car. That was exactly what happened.
That's true. He did knock on the window twice, though.
I mean, I get it.
He should have been like, look, man, roll it down. Look, last warning, if the window doesn't come down, you're coming out of the car. 1,
exactly.
2,
like,
3,
listen, you're not,
4.
you're not coming out of the car. No, don't tell him you're coming out of the car. I'm fucking arresting you and putting you in handcuffs.
Yeah, but
you're coming out of the car.
I would have counted to 5.
Out of the car mean?
I would have been like, look,
come out of the car.
If the window doesn't come down, you're getting arrested. 2,
yes,
3,
100%,
4, and if he doesn't respond by 5 seconds, he's coming out of the car.
You get arrested. 100%. I totally agree with that.
Right.
Totally agree with that. But you can't just. And here's the other thing. The cop was mad. Why was the cop mad? The cop was mad because you weren't listening to me, and I'm the boss. Oh, I'm the boss right now. Right? I hate that about cops. I had the nicest cop pull me over when I was totally speeding through his little town. And he pulled me over with the nicest smile and said, do you know how fast you were going through my town?
114, said, sir.
Too fast? And he's like, yes, you were. And he looked at me and he goes, I'm going to write you a ticket right now, okay? And I went, all right. But he was nice as can be. You know what I mean? You don't have to be an asshole.
Yeah, you're right.
You're a cop.
I don't think I've ever had an experience with a cop that wasn't like, I didn't feel like they're being complete assholes.
I mean, they're usually pretty, to me, it's usually mostly pretty professional. I get pulled over, you were speeding, blah, blah, blah. Give me your license and registration. It's usually pretty cut and dry, except for that one time. But when you make them mad, dude, This is the problem.
I grovel every single time. I'm like groveling. Yes, sir. No,
well, you're
sir.
smart to
I'm
grovel.
sorry,
You don't
sir.
have $100
Here's
million.
I apologize. Please don't hurt me.
That's what you do most of the time. Now, I argued back because I was pissed off because he was targeting me because he didn't like that I wanted to exit the freeway when he was apparently, what the fuck, dude? Can I not get off the freeway? Is that against the rules? Again, so he was mad. It was a white cop. He was mad that I was disrespecting him. And let me tell you something, cops, if you become a police officer because you were bullied as a kid and it's your time to get back at people, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would want to be a police officer.
Today's day and age? Hell no. Too many things can go wrong. And there's a lot of great cops out there.
Yeah, it just seems like a job that just not worth it.
Well, nobody, it's not, people are not grateful for it anymore. Right? People look at the cops as the bad guys, just like we did today.
Right.
But of course they showed us it. Yeah. And Tyreek Hill has he's like, what if it wasn't me? What if it was just somebody else?
If it was someone else, they would have, they wouldn't have had the testicles to act the way you acted. Like they would have done what you and I did. They would have been like, yes, sir. No, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Please don't scratch the McLaren. It's a rental.
I stole it.
Please don't scratch the McLaren. I had to have it back to the valet station before my boss finds me.
Let me tell you, if I were to like a betting man, if I were to say what I think, the motorcycle cop saw the McLaren go by with a black guy in the car, right? And the first thing they thought is, I need to go check to see if that's stolen. $10 says, if he were like if he's at the precinct and nobody's recording him, $10,000 says that's what he tells his boss. How many black guys are driving around a McLaren?
I don't know what the speed limit is in Miami-Dade, but like
if he's doing 60 and a 45.
Yeah, so he's on a regular street going 60. Like that's highway speeds, bro. Like
60 and a 45. I mean, yeah, it's 15 miles over the speed limit.
But you're on the regular streets, right? And it
was a 4-lane road,
and you're in a supercar, right?
It's the supercar that got him pulled over, honestly.
Right, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. One more thing. We're going to the member section in about in a few minutes here. Before we do, this just popped up. I thought I definitely wanted to check it out. This is the first private spacewalk ever. Coming out of Polaris, I can't pronounce the word.
Polaris was it the Dragon? It's SpaceX.
It's SpaceX. You know what's interesting? Why, dude? These guys' spacesuits almost look like spacesuits that you would have like on a movie set or something. I'm so used to spacesuits being big and bulky. These are so.
That's because the technology's gotten better, bro.
So why is NASA still using technology from the 60s then?
They poor. They don't have Elon's money.
Bro, like these suits look so nice, dude. They look so sleek and they look like they're movie suits, Well,
let me tell you, by the way, if you show that again, this is the furthest humans have been from Earth since the moon landings.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. They're at the furthest point from the Earth since the moon landings that humans have been.
That guy looks like he's having struggle. He's like,
it's actually 2 girls.
Is it 2 women?
2 women, yeah.
Wow, balls, dude. I mean, not literally, but you know what I mean.
Or not balls, but balls.
Not balls, but intestinal fluid, dude. Why is his arm like that though, or her arm like that?
I don't know. It's like the SpaceX secret handshake. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she's trying to get. Maybe her suit's not working right or something.
Maybe they're doing a test or something.
Because I was researching, some of the suits have robotics in it too. It allows you to grip things tighter and stuff. Or like these suits are really hardcore. I'm telling you, it's like movie stuff. It looks like if you saw this guy walking down the street without the helmet on, you would just assume that they were riding a motorcycle or something. Those are some sleek suits, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it. Does it need to be thick? Why was it thick before? You got the vacuum of space out there. As long as the fabric's tight,
insulation, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe insulation.
You gotta have a lot of insulation.
Maybe, yeah, maybe you used to because Space is cold.
Yeah, space is nothing. Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild. And
It's cool.
And like the thing, this is a private. This is a private company.
Did you ever think that one man would have the ability to like do more than NASA's doing?
You know what worries me though is that they're using Windows XP here. Okay.
You need to upgrade.
I feel like you really need to upgrade, Elon. I know you're an old hacker guy. You don't like Windows Vista or Windows 11, but like, I don't know, dude. You shouldn't be using Windows on SpaceX.
That's hilarious.
Usually, use something a little more stable, like I don't know, Linux Proton or something.
I think we got some super chat.
Oh, do we? Cool.
I can't see on my computer. I'm looking on the phone because
I see Orville Nation. What up, JP? Oh, no, sorry, JP. PJ. He says, so when is the podcast gonna start to discuss why we get bad Trek and Star Wars? It's the biggest psyop in history, Brian and Shane. I don't really know why, dude.
No, we know why.
No, I don't know why. I mean, like, business wise, I don't know why. Like, yeah, I mean, if you're saying like they don't mind losing billions and billions of dollars just so that they could push a message, then like I have to ask you the question you asked 2 months ago, Shane. How does that make sense, like financially? And how?
I'm starting to believe that it doesn't matter whether they succeed or fail, especially in the streaming, in the new streaming platform, the way streaming works. Like it used to work where advertisers, they wanted to be on the hit show. So when you had a hit show, you know, all the advertisers wanted to pay big bucks so that they could have their money, they could have their stuff shown because they knew a lot of eyeballs were going to be watching it. Now it's different. Now they're getting subscription payments. So now everybody's paying a subscription fee, right? And also they're getting advertisers anyways, because they're telling the advertisers, well, we're going to spread you out across the platform. So yeah, you're going to get seen on some things that maybe aren't so great, but you're also going to get seen on our best stuff too. So they also get the advertisers. I don't think losing money matters as much as it used to, because I think they're fudging all the dollars. I think they're fudging it. They're moving them around.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters as much as it used to. So they don't care if they're all they care about, PJ, is they care about making more content. They really don't care how successful the content is, honestly.
I do believe that at some point in the future, like if we continue down this path of streaming being like the technology that's going to stick around for entertainment, which I don't see why it wouldn't be. Especially when all these streaming services are going down the route of like advertising, their numbers are going to have to be public.
But only if the advertising is for specific shows. See, that's where they don't have to share anything. And what they're doing is they're selling the entire platform as an advertising thing.
Right.
They don't have to say, wow, Magnum PI is the #1 show. I want to be on that show. Okay, well, this is how many viewers we had, because it used to be public. So they can just tell them whatever they want the numbers to be. And as long as these brands, they've got a certain amount of money put towards marketing, whether it works or not, 2 to 7% of their budget is marketing, period, for all of these giant brands.
Well, there is a digital Nielsen going on right now. They're still setting it up where
we'll see.
I mean, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But basically, you're going to be able to get a Nielsen box that has every streaming service if you're a Nielsen family, right, or household. And that and whatever you watch is going to be tracked via Nielsen. So I think they're going to set up. I think that the advertisers out there who are funding this, they want to know, and they're not willing to get the information actually from the studios because they're not giving it. So they're funding this new Nielsen digital thing where they're like, oh, here's a Roku a Nielsen box, every streaming service is installed. Have fun enjoying watching.
That's what we need. I mean, honestly,
you're going to get $200 a month and you get free, TV.
So at the very least, we can put pressure on these streaming services to stop making bad things. Right. When we can prove that it's not good, then the news, if there is a news, I guess we're the news now.
Yeah.
We can write and talk about the things that aren't doing well. And here's the numbers to prove it. And until we can prove it, streaming services are going to be like, we don't give a shit. We're going to keep taking your $14.99 and we're going to have a bunch of new content on the platform. We can say we got new content and people are going to, even if they don't come to watch that show, they're going to watch this show. Look, I don't watch Paramount Plus to watch Star Trek.
No,
I don't. but I do watch Paramount Plus for other things.
Yeah.
So I'm still giving Paramount Plus money. Right. And until we get to a place where we're like, well, screw that, I'm not supporting them financially, I think we're going to be stuck. They just want to get shit out.
Right.
Hope it's good. Hope and a prayer.
Right.
But all the people that are making the stuff, and that's the other thing, PJ, and boy, this is the longest super chat answer ever. The reason why the people are making the things that they're making is because everybody who's in the business right now making it have grown up with a certain sort of ideology. We've talked about this before. How many people, how many LGBTQ people wanted to get into the fine arts? 75% of them, 80% of them, right? And guess what? They did, because you can if you work hard enough and you get there. And so what happens when you get there? The ideology changes, especially when you don't have to hide in the closet anymore.
Well, and also you don't have to hide behind success. You can push a message, right, and the studio doesn't really care as much as it used to care.
Exactly. That's exactly why we're getting the shit where we're getting. That's the answer. If you guys want it, that's the official answer why we're getting what we're getting. And so I'm sorry I didn't explain that to you.
I do believe that because movies are still public information, that we're gonna see we are currently seeing a sort of a backtracking on the ideology.
Why do you think Disney's making the movies that they're making now?
Oh yeah.
Look at everything coming out.
Notice they basically canceled every one of their phase 5, 4, whatever plans. Mm-hmm. And they're like totally shifting gears into a whole new thing. They hired the Russo brothers, bringing back RDJ. Like, hey, hey everyone, what happened to Armor Wars? Oh, it's not happening anymore? Are you going to announce that's not happening? You announced it. You had a whole Hall H announcement, and now it's just like softly being put in the recycle bin. Like, what's going on?
Yep. And now we're getting more Lion King, more Moana, more Encanto, more, all of these things that were very successful. We're getting more of that stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like they know that people didn't like Ironheart.
Oh, interesting.
Surprisingly, yeah. So like, oh, no more Armor Wars. Oh, no more Eternals 2. Oh, no. Like, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, but everyone wanted to see what that, what's that guy? That pop star. He was Thanos' brother. Everyone wanted to see that. No one wanted to see that. No one cares.
Oh.
August TV 123 members chat. I can't put that on the screen.
Months.
I can't put it on the screen because
you got it.
The software is weird, but I can read it. He says, I have such little interest in new Trek now. If they lost people like me who watch Berman Trek multiple times a week, they are doing something wrong. Yeah.
That's the answer. Yeah. That is the frustrating freaking answer, August TV. Berman, that's the Star Trek that Star Trek fans want. All of the new fans of Star Trek Discovery and some of the newer shows, those are new fans, right? But so that's new Star Trek. All of the if they were interested in the older Star Trek fans, the Berman era Star Trek fans, then they would care about what we want. Right. They simply don't.
Right.
They simply don't care about our dollars because Alex Kurtzman is going to make his money no matter what. Because nobody can tell whether or not Star Trek Discovery got good numbers or not.
Right.
Nobody can tell. So guess what? You can't crush them because you can't tell.
Yeah.
And Rotten Tomatoes lies for people. So there's no way to know.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes is like just owned by the studio. It's like
there's no way to know.
Watching the Rotten Tomatoes numbers on some of these things, you're just like, how in the world are you so upside down? How can the audience gets giving something a 99% and somehow it's rotten because of the 3 critics you decided to aggregate that gave it a rotten, or vice versa? It's crazy.
It's just all about money.
Yeah. Jeremy Snyder, 4-month cast member. Thank you, Jeremy. He says, kind of low-key disappointed there wasn't a billionaire sacrifice to the gods. Yeah, me too. Yeah. I feel like we need to sacrifice a billionaire.
It depends on the billionaire.
At least once a year, we need to sacrifice like a billionaire.
Once a year? I mean, that we would lose the billionaires.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's go once every decade.
If we start with billionaires that aren't doing the world any good, I'm down.
And there's a lot of them. All right. we won't run up for a while.
Let's leave you alone.
All right. All right. We are going to the member section. It's that time. if you would like to become a member, it's really simple. Hit the little join button down below and become a member, and then you can join us in all these little member sections. We always do 1 hour public and 1 hour for members. And remember, this channel, in case you're going to be splitting right now, on this channel, we're going to be uploading a little more stuff. We're going to be uploading smaller, behind the scenes videos and just fun stuff that I think that you guys are going to be into. And of course, clips and whatnot. And we need to upload more to this channel. We realize that. So I have a lot of stuff of folders that I can put in here. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I hope you do. That's it.
Yeah,
Shane?
we appreciate you guys. We thank you for coming. Oh, and Kenneth LaRoque just gifted 5 Pop Culture Unleashed memberships.
Join us.
You want to come and hang out.
Yeah, join us.
So thank you so much, Kenneth. That means everything. Thank you.
I should probably set the handshake up. You want to finish it while I'm doing that? I almost forgot to do that.
I thought we just did finish it, but all right. Yeah.
I mean, buy me like 30 seconds, will you?
You want 30 seconds?
Buy me 30 seconds, Shane.
Oh, I just froze.
Did you really?
I just totally froze. Okay, wait. I'm back. 30 seconds. Well, we'll see you next week. I don't really have 30 seconds off the top of my head.
I'm disappointed in you. All right, guys, we're going to the member section. It's all set up. I'm that quick.
I'll be like this: 29, 28.
If you're a member and you want to join us, it's going to pop up right after this. If also, it should, when this stream ends, just immediately take you to that page where the member stream is going to happen. If not, we'll see you there. If not, I'll see you on Saturday and next week. Love you guys. See you in the member section.
See you later.
Which button do I press again?
Which button do I press?
They're not labeled anymore. Oh, this one.
I don't know what to do.
Nothing is impossible. Just do it. Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it.